I don't think they heard me. Hold on. Yes, good evening, everyone in the USA, all over the world, Long Island, Canada, including the 5 spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka Lonely Nomad, aka the Gregonator, aka YouTuber, aka host with the most, aka Rookie Podcaster, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking with the Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, episode 18. Now, quick sidebar here, man. Listen, I'm sorry, like I said before, I'm sorry for the delay due to the unexpected rearranging of my room, which I didn't really ask, which I didn't ask my mother to do. I don't know where her intentions is going, but I digress on that shit. So listen up, man. If you are new here to the YouTube universe and a new listener, welcome all you new listeners out there that's been taking the time to listen to me on this review show right here that I'm about to unpack. So, um, if you missed any previous episodes and latest episodes, don't worry, I got you. I will guide you on what to do on YouTube, which is to grab the subscribe button on the Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast YouTube page. When you go there, yes, grab the subscribe button. Be sure to enable alerts alongside with the notification bell so you can be tuned in and reminded of when the show Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast goes on the air via live stream. Also, leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics. Be sure to share the videos, tell a friend to another friend, and be sure to stay tuned for upcoming episodes and previous recorded episodes. And also, um, like I said, share the videos and be sure to share the podcast along with audio streaming platforms, which I will go over at the end of the show. So I got y'all with that one right there. Now, first segment right here is our first segment right here is the Chillax Man Cave Popcorn Lounge, which is a segment about what's going on in the TV and movie world, what's going on. And of course, I'm actually interested into how this is going to really go. So our first review will be Biker Boys. And a little side note here. The reason why I named this episode Street Smarts is because of a music artist that I am about to review who goes by the name of Scorpio P. So I will talk about his singles and albums in a few minutes. So stick around. All right. So our first review is Biker Boys. Like I said, Biker Boys is a 2003 American sports action drama film directed by Reggie Rock, by the Wood, and written by the Wood and Craig Fernandez, based on the 2000 New York Times LA article of the same name by Michael Gorges. The film is about a group of underground motorcycle drag racers and the intense rivalry between a legendary motorcyclist and a young racing prodigy who has formed his own biker club. Of course, it stars Lawrence Fishburne, Derek Luke, Orlando Jones. I'm not even going to try to butcher this guy's name. So, Hansu, Lisa Bonet, Brandon Furr, Rick Gonzalez, Lawrence Tate, Kid Rock. Of course, the film features an ensemble cast, including, of course, I just mentioned that already. And yeah, Vanessa Bell Calloway is also in this movie as well. So I'm not even gonna really, not really mention the plot. So I'm not even gonna really. So I'll let y'all go over the plot yourself. So I'm not gonna really get into that. We're gonna go over the featured motorcycles right here. So silver and magenta, 1999 Suzuki Hayabusa GSX 1300R Smoke. Yellow and silver 2001 Suzuki GSX R750 Kid. Black 2000 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-12R Dog. Red and silver Ducati 996S. Primo silver 2000 Kawasaki Ninja ZX 12R Kid Chaos. Orange 1998 Yamaha R1 Choo Choo. Silver 2000 Yamaha R1 Stuntman. Green 1999 Suzuki TL 1000R 1/2 and a half. 1982 Kawasaki KZ 1000 Soul Train. I can't believe this shit, man. 2001 Honda CBR1 100 XX Motherland. T-Rex Automobile TJ. Okay, let's go over the soundtrack. Oh boy, not sure exactly but what the songs are on the soundtrack, but let's go to the reception, shall we? The movie received generally negative reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a score of 23% based on reviews from 91 critics. The site's consensus states waste of a good cast. For a movie about bike racing, it never gets up to speed. Metacritic gives the film a score of 36% based on reviews from 27 critics. Box office. The film was a slight bomb, earning a worldwide total of $23.5 million against a $24 million budget. Oh my fucking gosh. So $23.5 million. And it was a bomb? Are you serious? A bomb? Damn. That's a damn shame, man. So the film was released on DVD and VHS on June 10, 2003 in North America, and on DVD in the United Kingdom on August 21st, 2004. All right. Next movie is going to be Need for Speed. Now, I didn't even know they was going to make a movie, Need for Speed, and I had no idea that this was going to happen. So we're going to actually go over this. So, Need for Speed is a 2014 action thriller film directed and co-edited by Scott Woe and written by George and John Gattins. It is the film adaptation of the racing video game franchise of the same name by Electronic Arts. The film stars Aaron Paul, Dominic Cooper, Scott Mescudi, aka Kid Cudi, Imogen Poots, Ramon Rodriguez, and Michael Keaton. It tells the story of street racer Toby Marshall, who sets off to race cross country as a way of avenging his friend's death at the hands of a rival racer, Dino Brewster. Ooh. Wow. Dino Brewster, that's crazy, man. So, okay, it was released March 7th, 2014, and in the United States, March 14th, 2014. And the budget was 66 million. It was in third place, 203.3 million. Need for Speed was released by Touchstone Pictures on March 14th, 2014 in 3D, IMAX 3D, and conventional theaters. The film received negative critical reception and grossed 203 million worldwide. All right. So let's go over the marketing release. Yes. On September 25th, 2013, a trailer for the film was released on iTunes. Disney and DreamWorks announced the film's post-production conversion to 3D on February 5th, 2014. Need for Speed held its world premiere at the TCL Chinese Theater on March 7th, 2014. The film was released by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures through the Touchstone Pictures banner on March 14th, 2014. In selected 3D, IMAX, and conventional 2D theaters. It was also released worldwide by Disney, except for territories in Europe, Africa, and Middle East, where the rights are sold by Mr. Smith Entertainment to other industries. Reliance Entertainment had released the film in India, while Entertainment One Films released it in the United Kingdom. Need for Speed was released by Touchstone Home Entertainment on Blu-ray disc, DVD, and 3D Blu-ray on August 5th, 2014. So we get a look at the box office, right? Need for Speed grossed 43.5 million in North America and 159.7 million in other countries for worldwide total of 203.3 million. In North America, it topped the box office with 6.7 million on its opening Friday, March 14, 2014. However, the film finished in third place over the 3-day weekend with 17.8 million. Outside North America, the film debuted in first place with 45.6 million on the same weekend as its North America release. It remained in first place for a second weekend. Overall, the film's largest territory is China, where both the films opening weekend 21.1 million, and its total earnings 66.2 million are higher than in North America. Following these two territories in total earnings is Russia and the CIS with 13.8 million. So we go to the critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has approval rating of 22% based on 182 reviews and an average rating of 4.31 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, with shock characters and a preposterous plot, this noisily diverting video game adaptation fulfills Need for Speed and little else. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 39 out of 100 based on 38 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences polled by Cinema Score gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune gave the film 2.5 out of 4 stars. Remarking that Paul has talent, though the actor's idea of simmering intensity in the context of Need for Speed comes off more like a serial killer in the making. Cooper, by contrast, seems to be having some fun playing a dastardly sexy beast, Phillips added. At its occasional best, the thrills in the film recall the delirious fun of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Betsy Sharkey of Los Angeles Times felt similarly, writing, in quote, in trying for vicarious Vroom of the street racing video game that inspired it, and no doubt dreaming of fast success. Speed clocks in at a long 2+ hours and falls painfully short. Jason Torchinsky of the automotive blog Jalopnik decried the movie for insulting gearheads with its far-reaching suspension of disbelief on many plot points and tropes, and stated the film was nothing more than a glorified car commercial for the 2015 Ford Mustang. Wow. Danny Korecki of automotive outlet The Drive discussed the thought that the Need for Speed film could have been better had it been a TV series. A.L. Scott of the New York Times gave a more positive review, praising the film's car chase sequences while declaring the overall film an energetic, unpretentious B movie. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we're gonna go over the this soundtrack right here. So this soundtrack was released in I think the same day. Okay, so the film's soundtrack, composed by Nathan First, was released by Varasi Sarabande on March 14, 2014. Interscope Records released a separate EP on April 8th, 2014, which released 4 songs: Fortunate Son and Back in the Saddle by Aloe Black. All Along the Watchtower by Jamie and Commons. And Hero by Kid Cudi featuring Skylar Grey. Linkin Park's song Roads Untraveled from their 2012 album Living Things was also featured in the film. Score performed by a 77-piece, the Angel City Studio Orchestra 60-piece string orchestra conducted by Tim Davis and 17 musicians on brass section consists 8 French horns, 3 trumpets, 5 trombones, and 1 tuba conducted by Swiss Benchicil Cedar. Hold on, folks. Oh boy. Okay. So these are the track listings right here. So you got Marshall Motors, you got Lighthouse, Mr. Kisco, Mustang Offer, Identical Ajeras, Pete's Death, K Race. I can't really pronounce it, so I'm not gonna really butcher it. Right Cedar, You Always Go Back, Motor City, Mayhem, Grass Shopper, Hot Fuel, Crazy Little Tart, Switching Seats, Utah Escape, California Crossing, Broken, D. Leon Begins, Lethal Force, and in the lead. Now, didn't really know about the sequel, but let's take a look at this. China Movie Channel, GFlix Enterprises were teaming up with EA Games to develop a sequel with the film to be set and shot in China. However, as of 2021, no progress has come of the sequel, so it is more likely to have been canceled. Wow. Wow. There's actually some video games with the same name, Need for Speed and stuff. I will try to see if I can actually go over this before I even go over Scorpio P's music. So I will get to that. Don't worry. So our next review movie is the 1994 Speed. Now I didn't like the second one, but this one is probably the best one. So I did get a chance to see it. So Speed is a 1994 American action thriller film directed by Jan D. Bont in his feature film directorial debut. The film stars Keanu Reeves from the Matrix franchise. There's Dennis Hopper, Sandra Bullock, Joe Morton, and Jeff Daniels, and is about a bus that is rigged by a mad bomber to explode if it drops below 50 miles per hour. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so of course, yeah, I already mentioned that. So this was released on June 10th, 1984. I was little when it came out, actually, and I saw the bus advertisement already. It became critically and commercially successful, grossing $350.4 million. On a 30 to 37 million budget and winning 2 Academy Awards: Best Sound Effects, Editing, and Best Sound. A sequel, Speed 2 Cruise Control, was released on June 13th, 1997. The latter film would go down in infamy as one of the worst sequels of all time. So we are going to go to the reception. All right. Speed was released on June 10th, 1984 in 2,138 theaters in the United States and Canada, and debuted at the #1 position, grossing $14.5 million on its opening weekend. It set opening records for Fox in Brazil with a gross of $669,725,000. And in South America with a gross of $267,140. It spent 8 consecutive weeks at #1 in Australia and 11 in Japan. It grossed 121.3 million in the United States and Canada, and 229.2 million internationally, for a worldwide total of $300.5 million, well above its 30 to 37 million production budget. Yes, we are going to go to the critical response. Speed received rave reviews from critics on a review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes. The film holds an approval rating of 94% on 70 reviews, with an average rating of 8.00 out of 10. The site's critics consensus reads: a terrific popcorn thriller. Speed is taut, tense, and energetic, with outstanding performances from Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, and Sandra Bullock. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 78 out of 100 based on 17 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on A plus to F scale. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 4 out of 4 stars and wrote, in quote, "Films like Speed belong to the game I call bruised forearm movies." Wow. Wow. Because you are always grabbing the arm of the person sitting next to you done wrong, they seem like tired replays of old chase cliches. Done well, they are fun. Done as well as Speed, they generate a kind of manic exhilaration. Ebert also praised Hopper as certainly the creepiest villain in the movies right now, and lauded Reeves' transition into a believable action star after his earlier roles as dreamy, sensitive characters in his review for Rolling Stone magazine. Peter Travers wrote, in quote, "Action flicks are usually written off as a debased genre, unless, of course, they work. And Speed works like a charm. It's a reminder of how much movie escapism can still stir us when it's dished out with this kind of dazzle." In her review for the New York Times, Janet Maslin wrote, in quote, "Mr. Harper finds nice new ways to convey crazy menace with each new role. Certainly, he's the most colorful figure in a film that wastes no time on character development or personality." Entertainment Weekly gave the film an A rating, and on Gleiberman wrote, in quote, "It's a pleasure to be in the hands of an action filmmaker who respects the audience. The Bunt's craftsmanship is so supple that even the triple ending feels justified, like the cataclysmic final stage of a Sega death match." Wow. um, Time Magazine's Richard Schnickel wrote, "The movie has two virtues essential to good pop thrillers. First, it plugs uncomplicatedly into lurking anxieties, in this case, the ones we brush aside when we daily surrender ourselves to mass transit in a world where the loonies are everywhere." Filmmaker Quentin Tarantino named the film one of the 20 best films he had seen from 1992 to 2009. Entertainment Weekly magazine's Owen Gleiberman ranked Speed as 1994's eighth best film. The magazine also ranked the film eighth on their the best rock'em sock'em movies of the past 25 years list. Speed also ranks 451 on Empire Magazine's 2008 list of the 500 greatest movies of all time. Mark Kermode of the BBC recalled having named Speed his film of the month, working at Radio 1 at the time of release, and stated in 2017 having a rewatch the film for the first time in many years that it had stood the test of time and a masterpiece. Now we go to home media. On November 8th, 1984, Fox Video released Speed on VHS and Laserdisc formats for the first time. Rental and video sales did very well and helped the film's domestic gross. The original VHS cassette was only available in standard 3 TV format at the time, and in October 1996, Fox Video re-released a VHS version of the film in widescreen, allowing the viewer to see the film in a similar format to its theatrical release. Hold on. All right. All right. On November 3rd, 1988, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment released Speed on DVD for the first time. The DVD contains the film in widescreen format, but only has the film's theatrical trailer. A special collector's edition DVD was released on July 30th, 2002. Initially marketed as part of Fox Home Entertainment's five-star collection series, this release included two commentaries, one with director Jan DeBont and another with writer Graham Yost and producer Mark Gordon, and various behind-the-scenes featurettes. This edition was re-released as part of Fox Home's award series on February 7th, 2006. A Blu-ray disc edition was released on November 14th, 2006, being part of the first wave releases on the format from 20th Century Fox. This edition includes the two commentaries from the special collector's edition, a trivia track, the theatrical trailer, and the interactive game. Interesting. 20th Century Studios and Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released the film on Ultra HD Blu-ray on May 4th, 2021 of this year. This edition retains the commentaries and most of the special features from the 2002 Special Collector's Edition. Accolades. Yeah, we should go over accolades. Year end list. Okay, 7th, Mac Bates, the Milwaukee Journal. 7th, John Hurley, Staten Island Advance. 9th, David Stupich, the Milwaukee Journal. I'm not gonna even try to butcher her last name, so I'm gonna skip that one. Michael Mills, the Palm Beach Post. Dan Kraft, the Pentagraph. Christopher Shield, the Monster Times. Bob Strauss, Los Angeles Daily News. Robert Dennerstein, Rocky Mountain News. Top 10 listed alphabetically, not ranked. Matt Zoller, Seats, Dallas Observer. William Arnold, Seattle Post Intelligencer. Top 10, Eleanor Ringo, the Atlanta Journal Constitution. Steve Murray, the Atlanta Journal Constitution. And you know the list goes on. So let's go over the awards. So award circuit, Community Awards 1994, Best Stunt Ensemble. Gary Himes, Eddie Matthews, William Mortz, Jimmy Ortega, Brian SMRZ. One. Best Film Editing, John Wright nominated. Best Achievement in Sound, David McMillan nominated. Best Visual Effects, Boy Shermies nominated. Honorable mentions, Jen D. Bunt, 1. Best Film Editing, John Wright nominated. Best Sound from the Academy Awards, March 27, 1985, Greg Landacker, Steve Maslow, Bob Beamer, David McMillan. 1. Best Sound Effects Editing, Stephen Hunter Flick. 1. American Cinema Editors Awards 1985, Best Edited Feature Film, John Wright nominated. The BAFTA Awards 1985, Best Sound, Stephen Hunter Flick, Greg Landacker, Steve Maslow, Bob Beamer, David McMillan. 1. Best Special Visual Effects, Boy Shermies, John Fraser, Ron Brickman, Richard E. Hollander nominated. Best Editing, John Wright. 1. Of course, Blockbuster Entertainment Awards, 1985. Favorite Actress, Action Adventure, Sandra Bullock won. BMI Film and TV Awards, 1985. BMI Film Music Award, Mark Mancina won. Chicago Film Critics Association Awards, 1985. Most Promising Actress, Sandra Bullock nominated. Cinema Audio Society Awards. Oh, I never heard of this. 1985, Outstanding Achievement in Sound Mixing for Feature Films. Greg Landecker, Steve Maslow, Bob Beamer, David McMillan nominated. Edgar Allan Poe Awards, 1985. Best Motion Picture, Graham Yost nominated. Golden Camera Awards, 1985. Golden Screen won. Japan Academy Prize Awards, 1985. Best Foreign Film nominated. Jupiter Awards, 1984. Best International Actress, Sandra Bullock won. And of course, Motion Picture Sound Editors Awards. Of course, Best Sound Editing, Sound Effect, and Foley Domestic Feature Film. Okay, Stephen Hunter Flick, Donald Flick, David E. Stone, Eric Potter, Paul Barrosheimer, David Barlett, John Dunn, Patricio A. Lieberson, Dean Bayview, John T. Cucci, Ken Dufva, Judy Flick, A.V. Ram D. Gold, Warren Hamilton Jr., Greg Hedgepath, Dean Manley, Dan O'Connell, Catherine Rowe, Joan Rowe, Kirk Schuler, Bruce Stubblefield, Solange S. Schwalbe, all won. So, Best Movie nominated, Best Male Performance, Keanu Reeves was nominated, Best Female Performance, Sandra Bullock won. Best On-Screen Duo, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves won. Best Kiss, Sandra Bullock nominated. Most Desirable Male, Keanu Reeves nominated. MTV Plus TV Awards, June 10th, 1985. Most desirable female, rather, Sandra Bullock won. Best Villain, Dennis Hopper won. Best Action Sequence for the bus escape / airplane explosion won. Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards, May 20th, 1985. Favorite movie nominated. Favorite movie actor, Keanu Reeves nominated. Favorite movie actress, Sandra Bullock nominated. Nickelodeon Sports Films Awards, May 20th, 1985. Favorite movie actor, Keanu Reeves nominated. Favorite movie actress, Sandra Bullock nominated. Then you have, of course, Best Foreign Film won Saturn Awards, June 26, 1985. Best Action Adventure Thriller Film nominated. Best Director, Jan de Bont nominated. Best Actress, Sandra Bullock. Now, okay, the soundtrack right here is the soundtrack album featuring songs from the inspired by the film was released on June 28th, 1994 with the following tracks. The soundtrack was commercially successful in Japan, being certified gold by the RIAJ in 2002. So, okay, Billy Idol's Speed, A Million Miles Away, the Plimsolls. Oh wow. Souls Deep, Gin Blossoms. Cracker. Oh shit. Oh, go out. Let's go for a ride. Souls Deep. Go Outside and Drive, Blues Traveler, Crash, Rick Okasak, Rescue Me, Pat Benatar, Hard Road, Rod Stewart, Cot, Carnival Strippers. Oh shit, that's funny. Cars 93 Sprint Remix, Gary Newman. Not Gary Oldman, folks. Like a Motorway, Saint Etienne, Mr. Speed, Kiss. Score. In addition to the soundtrack release, a separate album featuring 40 minutes of Mark Messina's score from the film was released on August 30th, 1984. The CD track order does not follow the chronological order of the film's events. La La Land Records. Can't believe that shit. Can't believe that's the name of the record company. Don't ask me how they got the name. Oh shit. Released a limited expanded version of Mark Messina's score on February 28, 2012. The newly remastered release features 69.25 of music spread over 32 tracks in chronological order. In addition, it includes the song Speed by Billy Idol, of course. I'm not gonna go over the sequel because I didn't see that one. I'm pretty sure everybody probably seen it, probably say it sucks, so I'm not even gonna go over that one right there. So the Mythbuster 2019 season tested the reality of the film's bus jump scene. The film is parodied in the UK Channel 4 sitcom Father Ted in the episode Speed 3, where Father Dougal drives a booby-trapped milk float that will explode if its speed falls below 4 miles per hour. In The Simpsons, the film was briefly cited by Homer Simpson in the Springfield Files as the inspiration for his idea to use old CCTV footage to allow him and his friends to go drinking, though he calls the film the bus that couldn't slow down. Oh man, I remember that episode. Oh man, that's crazy, man. Oh man. A clip of Speed is seen in the 2020 live action CGI film Sonic the Hedgehog, which I didn't even get a chance to see that as well though. That's gonna be one of the movies on the list I'm gonna try to see. Which the title character considered one of his favorite action films. Wow, interesting. And I said I was going to actually go over some video games with the same name, Need for Speed. Let me see. Okay, let's go to. I'm going to feature a new segment on this show. I'm actually going to. Let's see. I never did this before, but I want to actually, be able to do it, even though I actually played some Need for Speed games, including Need for Speed Underground. So I want to actually feature something that's for all the gamers out there, man. And this is called the video games chamber. Basically, it's a segment about where we're gonna do a review on the types of games that involves action and of course a storyline and the dialogue and stuff like that. And Need for Speed games is one of them, since I reviewed the movie version of the 2014 that was in third place, which I actually got a chance to see actually online actually. So I'm actually going to go over all right, so first and foremost, all right. So this is going to be a list of Need for Speed video games right here. So the Need for Speed video game series is published by Electronic Arts. Games in the series were primarily developed by Canadian developer EA Canada from 1992 to 2001. They were later primarily developed by Canadian developer EA black box for a period of the series history from 2002 to 2011. After a stint with several game developers, including British developer Criterion Games from 2009 through 2012. The series is currently being handled by Swedish British developer Ghost Games. Oh, wow. Don't ask me about the name of the damn Ghost Games, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Whose debut title, Need for Speed Rivals, was released in 2013. The series debuted the Need for Speed in North America, Japan, under the Overdriven title through High Stakes in Europe in 1997. Need for Speed is a series of racing video games where the main objective is to win races in a variety of game modes, in the process eluding traffic and police. Aftermarket customization of video game vehicles was an aspect first introduced by the Need for Speed series after the release of the film The Fast and the Furious. The feature was included in every Need for Speed title developed by EA Black Box for Need for Speed Underground through Need for Speed Undercover. The NFS series is among the best selling video game franchises with 100 million copies sold. Electronic Arts considers one of the reasons the series has remained so popular is because the series has been long over an ever evolving franchise, one that changes up its focus, mechanics, and style every couple of years. All right. So, of course, primary installments. The Need for Speed was released years by system. 1984 3DO interactive multiplayer. 1985 DOS. 1986 PlayStation, Sega Saturn. Of course, original release was August 31st, December 9th, and 1984. March 20th, 1986. A special edition of the game was released later in North America in 1996 for PC. The game was released in Japan as Overdriven DX. And of course, this was released by Systems 1997, Windows, and PlayStation. Need for Speed 2, developed by EA Canada, a special edition of the game developed by EA Canada and Seattle was released on November 6, 1997 for PC. The game was produced in Japan as Overdriven 2. Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit, Windows and PlayStation. Released March 25th, 1988, April 1988, September 23rd, 1988, developed by EA Canada and EA Seattle. The game was released in Japan as Overdriven 3 Hot Pursuit. And of course, Need for Speed High Stakes, developed by EA Canada and EA Seattle. The game was released in Japan as Overdriven 4. The game was released in Brazil as Road Challenge. The first game to feature a damaged model. Released in 2000, Windows, PlayStation, 2004, Game Boy Advance. Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. It was released February 29th, 2000, June 29th, 2000, also known as Need for Speed Porsche 2000 in Europe and Need for Speed Porsche in Germany and Latin America, the last game in Sega to be released for a 5th generation console. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, October the 2nd, 2002, October 25th, 2002, PlayStation 2, version developed by EA Black Box and other versions by EA Seattle. First game in the series to be released for the major 6th generation consoles. Need for Speed Underground, which I played, November 17, 2003, November 21st, 2003, December 25th, 2003. This was released by Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Windows, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and arcade. Developed by EA Black Box, the first game to take place in a generic city. Need for Speed Underground 2, Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Mobile, Nintendo DS, Windows, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. Nintendo DS, as I said. November 15th, 2004, November 19th, 2004, December 22nd, 2004, July 27th, 2005. Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I actually had a chance to play that too, along with my cousin, released by system Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Mobile, Nintendo DS, Windows, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, Xbox 360. Developed by EA Canada and EA Black Box. First game in the series to be released for the Xbox 360. Need for Speed Carbon. I never heard of this, but released by GameCube in 2006, mobile, Windows, Mac OS X, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Portable, Nintendo Wii, and Xbox 360, which was developed by EA Canada and EA Black Box. Last game in the series to be released for the GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance. First game to be released for the Wii and PlayStation 3. To date, the only one released for Mac OS X. Wow. Hang on a second. Let me see how much time I have. Okay, we can wing this. All right, we can wing this, man. We can wing this. Okay, where did I leave off? Oh, okay. What was it? Carbon, I said. Yes. Yes. Yes, developed by EA Canada and EA Black Box. The last game in the series to be released for GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. First game to be released for Wii and PlayStation 3. To date, the only one released for Mac OS X. Okay. So we're gonna take a look at all the games that I just read right now. So let's take a look at this. We're gonna take a look at the all that stuff right here, man. So we're not even gonna really do that stuff. All right. So Road and Track presents The Need for Speed is a racing video game developed by EA Canada and published by Electronic Arts, initially released on the 3DO in 1984 and ported to MS-DOS in 1985. Another version of the game, Need for Speed Special Edition, was released in 1996 for the Microsoft Windows, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn platforms. The original 3DO version offers 8 sport cars, including several exotic models and Japanese imports, and tasks the player with racing in 3 realistic point-to-point tracks, either with or without a computer component. Opponent. So, subsequent ports of the game normally include an additional 9th car and have more tracks, including closed circuits. Checkpoints, traffic, vehicles, and police pursuits commonly appear in the races. Okay. All right. The game was noted for its realism in audio and video game commentaries. Electronic Arts collaborated with Automotive magazine, Road and Track to match vehicle behavior, including the mimicking of the sounds made by the vehicle's gear control levers. Okay. The game also contained precise vehicle data with spoken commentary, several magazine-style images of each car, interior and exterior, and short video clips highlighting the vehicles set to music. The Need for Speed was a commercial success. The video game publications praised the incorporation of realism into the gameplay and graphics, as well as the inclusion of full motion videos. It is the first installment released in the Need for Speed series, which has influenced several racing games. It was also sold in Japan, known as Overdriven DX. Yes, influence is what I meant to say, folks. So don't worry about that. Now we are going to go to the gameplay. So the premise of Need for Speed involves racing in sport cars, including several exotic models and Japanese imports. The original 3DO version includes the 3 point-to-point tracks, each divided into 3 stages. Subsequent ports featured both the point-to-point tracks and new closed circuits. The Saturn and PlayStation versions include an additional 3 tracks. Traffic vehicles appear in races and may be avoided by the player. Police pursuits are also a key gameplay mechanic, with the player ticketed or arrested if a police car succeeds in catching up with them. Players are arrested if they receive a third police ticket or a second ticket in the Sega Saturn version. In addition, in the special edition, completing the tournaments or entering a cheat unlocks the rally code, where car dynamics are changed to make for a faster arcade experience, as well as the Warrior PTOE/2, a fictional jet-powered sports car. Except for the aforementioned Warrior, each car in the game comes with detailed specifications, is what I'm meant to say. History, audio commentaries, and real life videos, which would also feature in subsequent games in the series, though this was omitted in later games. A replay feature allowed the player to view a saved game. Saved race, rather. Multiple camera views, playback speed, and video navigation are offered. Multiplayer consists of a 2-player head-to-head racing mode, which requires computer connected via modem. There are a total of 6 courses in the game, 3 in the 3DO version: City, Coastal, Alpine, Rusty Springs, Autumn, Valley, and Vertigo. Each is a distinctive environment. City, Coastal, and Alpine have 3 sections each, while the others are circuit races. All right. There is an extra track in the game named Lost Vegas, which can be unlocked by winning all of the tracks above in tournament mode. A flag in the bottom right corner of the track's image indicates a victory in the menu to help the player keep track of the progress. Okay. All right. All right. The Need for Speed was noted for its realism in audio and video commentaries. Electronic Arts collaborated with the automotive magazine Road and Track to match vehicle behavior, including the mimicking of the sounds made by the vehicle gear control levers. The game also contained precise vehicle data with spoken commentary, several magazine-style image of each car interior and exterior, and short video clips highlighting the vehicle set to music. The Need for Speed was released in 1984 for the 3DO. Ports is in 1996. In addition of Need for Speed, the Need for Speed Special Edition was released on PC CD-ROM containing MS-DOS and Windows 95 versions. It includes 2 new tracks, Trans I'm not even gonna pronounce that, man. Transtropolis is what I meant to say. And Burnt Sienna and various enhancements to the game engine. The Windows 95 version supports DirectX 2 and IPX networking. The Need for Speed Special Edition is the only game in the Need for Speed series to support MS-DOS, as subsequent releases for the PC only support Windows 9X. A DOS-compatible emulator like DOS-BOX is required for systems that do not natively support it to run the DOS version of the Need for Speed Special Edition. In June 1995, Atari Corporation struck a deal with EA in order to bring several titles from their catalog, including the Need for Speed to the Atari Jaguar CD. These ports, along with the Need for Speed, went unreleased. Japanese versions. In 1984, Electronic Arts Victor translated the 3DO version of the Need for Speed in Japanese and released it in Japan as Road and Truck Presents Overdriven. The PlayStation port of the game was exported to that country as Overdriven DX in 1986. 2 additional Nissan-sponsored versions of the game were announced at the year's Tokyo Game Show. Nissan Presents Overdriven GTR was released in 1986 for the Sega Saturn, and Nissan Presents Overdriven Skyline Memorial, released in 1997 for PlayStation. The former's car lineup consists only of Nissan vehicles, whilst the latter exclusively features Skyline models. Okay. All right. Receptions. The game reached number 5 in the UK sales arts. Reception, all game, 5.5 stars. 3DO, PS1, 4 stars. CBG, 3DO, 93 out of 100. PS1, 3 stars. Edge, 3DO, 8 out of 100. EGM, 8 out of 10. That's for 3DO. PS1, 8.75/10. Game Pro, PS1, 4.5 out of 5. GameSpot, PC, 8.3 out of 10. IGN, PS1, 7 out of 10. Mean Machines, Sega, SAT, 90 out of 100. Next Generation, PS1 and SAT, 4 stars. 3DO, 2 stars. Maximum, PS1, 2 stars. PC Power, 95%. Sega Saturn Magazine, SAT, 75%. The Need for Speed was met with positive reviews. The 4 reviewers of Electronic Gaming Monthly scored the 3DO version an 8.0 average, with 2 of them giving the game a 9.0 or higher. They praised the game's realistic graphics and sounds, addictive gameplay, and exceptionally clever use of full motion video. GamePro gave it a rave review as well, commenting that the selection of cars will leave car buffs drooling, and the realistic graphics and handling of each vehicle infuse the game with taut realism and fascinating variety. They expressed disappointment over the lack of two-player mode, but felt that the exceptionally challenging enemy Al largely makes up for it. Next Generation reviewed the 3DO version of the game and stated that while everything uh, is in place rather for a truly great game, and the fortunate and total need of speed prevents the need for speed from ever being more than a pleasant Sunday drive. British magazine PC Power gave the Windows version a score of 95%, praising card handling, graphics, and overall presentation, but criticizing hardware requirements and sound. All right. Jim Varner of GameSpot gave the game a great rating of 8.3 out of 10, siding with its marvelous attention to detail, exotic course design, and straightforward gameplay. This game is a true winner. Simply put, the Need for Speed is the next best thing to owning a $200,000 sports car. The two sports reviewers of Electronic Gaming Monthly applauded the PlayStation version for its fast racing and excellent controls. Air Hendricks argued in GamePro that with all these improvements, the PlayStation version is practically a sequel to the 3DO game and it plays like one. He made particular mention of the additional courses, the handbrake, the improved displays, and the faster speeds of the game. A next generation critic likewise found it faster and more responsive than the 3DO version and held it to be one of the PlayStation's best racing games to date. Other magazines were more critical, with PSM criticizing the obtrusive graphics and saying that it isn't an immediately enjoyable game. The idiosyncrasies of only serve to annoy. Maximum complained that the driving lacks intensity and that cars are too resistant to crashes, though they acknowledge that the graphics are moderately impressive. Air Hendricks rated the Saturn version as comparable with and occasionally better than the impressive PlayStation version, highlighting the controls in the particular as superior to previous versions of the game. He concluded, end quote, the gameplay demands both precision driving and cajones, and although mastery takes time to achieve, needs ultimately more satisfying than Daytona or Sega Rally. Rob Allsetter of Sega Saturn magazine, however, said that while the Need for Speed is good on its own terms, it looks dated compared to the two games Air Hendricks referenced. He also disliked the game's elements of realism, arguing that racing games are more fun when they indulge in wild fantasy. A next generation critic said it was certainly as fast, but not as crisp as the PlayStation version, but nonetheless, a better racer than most. Okay. Forgive me, folks. My throat. The Need for Speed was a runner-up for Computer Gaming World's 1985 Action Game of the Year award, which ultimately went to Crusader No Remorse. The editors wrote, the Need for Speed Electronics Arts incredibly fast and enthralling driving game, almost caught the checkered flag. Multiple courses with distinctive feels, brilliant SVGA graphics, and some of the hottest iron on the road made this 3D conversion a worthy entry into the PC action game arena. Okay. All right, we're gonna go over some more games, which is of course Need for Speed 2. I'm not gonna get to all the games. I'm gonna touch on some of the games actually, so don't worry about that. Need for Speed 2 is a racing game released in 1997. It is part of the Need for Speed series and is the second installment for the Need for Speed. Okay. We're gonna go to the gameplay. All right, folks, listen to this. Like its predecessor, Need for Speed 2 allows players to race exotic cars in country-themed tracks from North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia, either against computer-controlled opponents or human opponents via a LAN, modern serial connection, or in split screen. There are three distinct gameplay modes. Single race mode is which a player simply chooses a car and a course and completes a single race. In this mode, the player can customize both the number and type of opponents as well as the number of laps to be completed. Tournament mode, in which the player must complete a series of races successfully to unlock a bonus car. The knockout mode consists of a series of 2-lap races with 8 opponents. The last place finisher at the end of each race is eliminated from the competition. The game features 8 real-life high-end sports cars and concepts cars which the player can drive and race against. The special edition release of the game added 4 additional cars. In addition, the game features a showcase which provides photos, videos, and technical information about the cars, as well as the history of each company and background of each car's development. The game also features several new elements compared to the previous game in the form of custom car paint and components of the car, including gear ratios, tires, and spoilers. All right. So Need for Speed 2 was developed by EA Canada. The lead programmer for the game was Laurent and Ceci, with Wei Shute and Brad Gore as senior programmers. Okay. EA abandoned the road and track license used with the original game in favor of licensing with each automobile manufacturer individually to ensure that the physics of fast cars, handling, and performance were as accurate as possible. The programmers collaborated with the manufacturers of each vehicle. The sound effects were created by installing microphones in various positions on each car and recording onto 8-track digital tape while the car was driven. A version for the Panasonic M2 was in the works, but it was never released due to the cancellation of the system. Sega Saturn and Nintendo 64 versions were originally announced, but both were never released. All right. Reception. Game rankings gave the score of the PS 71.39%, PC 68.25%, Metacritic PS 71 out of 100, publication CVG 7.8 out of 10, EGM PS 6.25 out of 10, GameSpot PS 7.3 out of 10, PC 7.0 out of 10, IGN PS 6.0 out of 10. Next generation, PS 2 stars. OPM UK PS 5 out of 10. Adrenaline Vault PC 5.5 stars. All right. Need for Speed 2 was met with mixed reviews. Aggregating review websites Game Rankings and Metacritic gave the PlayStation version 71.39% and 71 out of 100, and the PC version 68.25%. Critics were universally impressed with the selection of expensive cars and the huge number of tracks. However, most found that other issues interfered with enjoyment of the game. IGN, for instance, remarked that all the right elements are there: cool cars, inventive tracks, decent control, but the execution has been seriously flawed by poor graphics and frame rate. The most commonly cited problem with the graphics was the high amount of pop-in, which Next Generation said, in quote, is actually irritating enough to op- obfuscate. Obfuscate. There you go. Obfuscate. What could be a good time. The official PlayStation magazine said the game had atrocious handling and that it soon got boring. Several critics noted, usually in the form of a complaint, that the game's handling requires players to frequently break during turns. There was considerable disagreement over the game's blend of realistic and arcade style racing. In an Electronic Gaming Monthly, Craig Kujawa and Dean Hager's criticism of the game stemmed from its being easier to play and therefore less realistic than its predecessor. Kujawa added that the game has been given an arcade edge that simply doesn't fit. The cartoony looking graphics are subpar because they ruin the realistic feel of driving these real exotic cars. GamePro, however, stated the reverse, that the gameplay was too realistic to appeal to fans of arcade-style racing and could only be recommended to players who enjoy games like Formula One and the original Need for Speed. GameSpot's Glenn Rubenstein offered a third option, saying it provides a unique middle ground between realism and arcade style by allowing players to drive real cars with realistic handling into exotic populated areas. Okay. He also portrayed the music and sound effects, and while acknowledging the issues with the graphics, he found them overall impressive and concluded Need for Speed to be the PlayStation's slickest racer yet. The PC version was slightly less well received. An issue with that, the game required a fast computer at the time to display the graphics at the highest setting. A reviewer for computer and video games didn't appreciate the combination of super realist cars being driven on fantasy tracks and thought that the crashes look and feel wrong. Tassos Kaffers of GameSpot liked the game but felt most of the roads were outrageous and that the cars would be unfamiliar to many. An Adrenaline Vault review described the game as a good overall driving experience with easy installation, realistic sound effects, and both an excellent interface and music. A 2007 retrospective review in the Game Goldies praised the crispier graphics, smooth smoother animation, rich colors, and increased detail compared to the original. Special edition, released on October 29th, 1987 in the United States, and February 2nd, 1988 in Japan and Europe. And the special edition of the Need for Speed 2 includes one extra racetrack, 3 extra cars, 3 bonus cars, a new driving style called Wild, and 3D FX Glide hardware acceleration support. All right, we're gonna go over Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. We're gonna go over Hot Pursuit 2. We're gonna go over Underground 2, Most Wanted. Yeah, we're gonna go over that. All right. So, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit is a racing video game released in 1998. It is the third major installment in the Need for Speed series, incorporating police pursuits as a major part of gameplay. Hot Pursuit remains focused in racing using exotic sports cars, but features races that primarily take place in locations within North America, including various settings and climates. In addition, Police Al is improved over its predecessor, utilizing several tactics to stop both the player and opponent. The game was released for PlayStation in March 1988 and later received an enhanced port for Microsoft Windows in September 1998. Yeah. A sequel to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit was released in 2002, and a reboot, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, was released in 2010. Okay, we are going to go to the gameplay. All right. All right. With police pursuits reintegrated into the game, Hot Pursuit's gameplay now consists of 2 categories. The first encompasses standard racing, as it has been in its predecessors, the Need for Speed and Need for Speed 2, in which the player is allowed to race against 1 or 7 other racers in normal circuit races, knockouts, or tournaments. Second category is dubbed Hot Pursuit, where police pursuits are included in races. The mode allows the player to select a standard sports car to race against a single opponent in a police scattered track. The PC version also contains a role reversal variation in which players select a police version of a sports car to pursue, and stop all 6 racers before they complete the race. Completing the Hot Pursuit challenges in both roles in the PC version on every track of the game unlocks additional police sports cars. 2 modes were introduced in the game. The 2-player split screen mode allows 2 players to race using the same computer. The knockout mode consists of 7 races with 8 racers on randomly chosen tracks, in which conditions such as selected difficulty, weather, and so on that the player has chosen before starting the race series will apply. Okay. Each race consists of 2 laps where the driver who finishes last will be eliminated from the race lineup. All other drivers advance to the next round and carry on with the battle until there is only 1 player left, who technically wins the knockout competition. The standard tournament mode consists of 8 opponents in a 4-lap race on randomly selected tracks and choices made by the player, as in the knockout mode. Take effect when the tournament is started. The game supports network play through a serial port modem or IPX, and online gaming through TCP/IP protocol. It also allows Spawn installations of itself to be installed on other machines. Racing tracks range from desert canyons to countryside villages, as well as snow-capped mountain ranges. Most tracks contain one or more secret shortcuts. Car tuning was also introduced, which allowed any car's handling to be customized by adjusting low or high-end properties for engine tuning and gear ratios. Front or back brake balance, slow or fast braking, speed, soft or stiff suspension, low or high aerodynamics, as well as rain or racing tires. Any of these options could be modified via sliders to offer a digit-sensitive percentage-based effect to the selected car's overall performance. Higher-end engine and gear turning, for example, will compromise acceleration for better top speed. Rear-based brake balance and slow braking speeds make for wider drifting turns, and aerodynamics provide even higher speeds at the loss of handling. High pursuit system has been significantly improved in terms of AL and police tactics over the need for speed. The game now requires that the racer only stops near a pursuing police car to be ticketed or arrested by the police, as opposed to being overtaken by a police car, forcing the racer to pull over for the same punishments. Accordingly, police cars are now programmed with a ability to block a racer's car in an attempt to halt them. In addition, whereas the original Need for Speed would only have a single police car chasing a racer in each pursuit. High pursuit allows more police cars to pursue a racer, opening up the opportunity for them to collectively ambush the racer's car. Tactical aspects of the police pursuits have been improved. The police have the ability to deploy roadblocks, which has computer-controlled police cars form a wall across the road and spike strips and puncture the tires of a racer's car, bringing it to a halt. Both tactics present weakness, specifically gaps in the blockade that can be used by a racer to avoid collisions with police cars or tire punches from a spike strip, which is only deployed on one side of the road. The player may also listen to police radio chatter on the pursuit statuses, reviewing to them the current locations of races, police cars, as well as roadblocks and spike strips. Sorry. The radio chatter also reveals reactions to specific events, such as a racist collision with a parked police car, as well as referencing the racist passing speed and the occurrence of the race itself. Furthermore, if a computer-controlled racist driving conduct proves to be more dangerous than that of the races, the police may relent their pursuit of the player and chase the AI instead, I guess. Okay. Aggregator game rankings. PC 85%, PS 86%, Metacritic not applicable, PS 88 out of 100. Publication review scores. CNET Game Center 8 out of 10 for both PC and PS. CGSP 5.5 stars. CGW 5 stars. EGM 8.125 out of 10. Game Informer 7.75 out of 10. Game Fan 84%. Game Pro 5.5 stars for PC and PS. Game Revolution A for PC, PS A minus. GameSpot 8.5. No, excuse me, 8.9 out of 10 for PC. 8.3 out of 10 PS. IGN 7.3 out of 10. There's 8 out of 10 for PS. Next Generation 4 stars for both PC and PS. OPM US 4 stars. PC Accelerator 9 out of 10. PC Gamer US 88%. The Cincinnati Inquirer 4.5 stars. Okay, so the PlayStation version of Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit received favorable reviews, just 2 points shy of universal acclaim, according to the review aggregation website Metacritic. Next Generation's July 1998 called the same console version an excellent racer for both novice and expert enthusiasts. Okay. Of course we have hopefully EA will continue to improve the engine so that NFSIV offers a great two-player experience as well. 5 issues later, the magazine said of the PC version, add defined 3D accelerated graphics, lightning fast response to the controller, incredible weather effects, and impressively valued terrain, and you've got a winner. James Price of official UK PlayStation magazine gave the PlayStation version 7 out of 10, saying, in quote, while certainly accomplished, Need for Speed 3 is hamstrung in a direct head-to-head with Gran Turismo. EA's title just can't compete. It's a great shame because it's one of the most playable racing released in the past year. In Japan, where the same PlayStation version was ported for the release under the name Overdriven 3 on September 23rd, 1998. Famitsu gave it a score of 29 out of 40. Allgame gave the PlayStation and PC versions 4.5 stars out of 5. And Sean Seckenheim saying of the former, in quote, all things considered, Need for Speed is a blast. A bit hard at first in the tournaments, but the hot pursuit and 2-player modes will have you racing well into the night for weeks on end. And Jonathan Sutyak calling the latter a great game because of the ability to play as the police and take part in multiplayer games. Take away those 2 modes and you have a basic racing game with great graphics. However, Edge gave the former version 7 out of 10, saying that it doesn't manage to regain the rawness of the first installment, remaining a fun title that will undoubtedly gain admirers at the expertise of most racing aficionados. The game was heralded during its time for its intense action and beautiful graphics. Edge praised the design of the game's tracks and challenging police pursuits, but criticized the weightlessness of some cars for failing to convince the player of any realistic dynamics at work. Okay, listen, for the new listeners and the new watchers on the YouTube universe that just came in and stuff, welcome. We are now recording live on StreamYard, YouTube, and also 17 Live, which is also where I'm recording right now. So I'll get to those comments at the end of the show. So stick around for that one. Okay. Excuse me. The game reached number 10 in the UK charts. In the US and PC version sold 276,000 copies during 1999 alone at an average of $25. In February 1999, the same PC version received a Gold Sales Award from the Verbander Anta Tongue Software. I'm not even going to pronounce this D word. So indicating sales. So it's VUD. So basically, I'm just going to say VUD. Indicating sales of at least 100,000 units sales, of course, across Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. The same PC version was a finalist for Computer Game Strategy Plus 1988 Racing Game of the Year award, which ultimately went to Motocross Madness. The staff said that the game offers great looks and excellent racing action. PC Gamer, US. Likewise nominated the game as the best racing game of 1988, although it lost again to Motocross Madness. They wrote for Pure Arcade Rush. It's hard to beat Electronic Arts' thrilling Need for Speed 3. It won the Simulation Game of the Year award at AIAS Second Interactive Achievement Awards. The Best Driving Award at Computer Gaming World's 1999 Premier Awards, and the Driving Game of the Year Award at GameSpot's Best and Worst of 1988 Awards. It was also nominated for the Best Racing Game at the 1988 CNET Game Center Awards, and for the Best Racing Game of the Year Award at IGN's Best of 1988 Awards, both of which went to Grand Prix Legends for the former and Power Slide for the latter. Okay. Let me see. Let me just go to we're gonna go over let me see how much time I got here and see who's on here. Okay, okay, I'm gonna go over I'll go over the underground games and Most Wanted. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so Need for Speed Underground is a 2003 racing game, video game actually, and the 7th installment in the Need for Speed series. It was developed by EA Black Box and published by Electronic Arts. 2 different games were produced one for consoles and Windows, and the other for the Game Boy Advance. Underground rebooted the franchise, ignoring the previous Need for Speed games, which featured sports cars and exotics. It was the first game in the series to offer a career mode featuring a storyline and a garage mode that allowed players to fully customize their cars with a large variety of brand name performances and visual upgrades. All races take place in a generic city at night called Olympic City, though the city bears some resemblance to New York City, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Rather than exotic cars, Underground features vehicles associated with the import scene. Underground was critically and commercially successful and was followed by Need for Speed Underground 2 in 2004. Okay. Should we go over the gameplay? Yeah, let's go over the gameplay, man. All right. Circuit is a standard race that involves racing with up to 3 opponents' cars around a loop track for 1 lap or more, and is the main mode of the game. For about the last 4 races of Underground mode, the number of players decreases to only 1 rival, and the number of laps reached up to 7 endurance race. Knockout mode is similar to previous Need for Speed titles and involves knocking out the last racer who passes and starting line in each lap until the final leader of the race remains and wins the game. No, wins the race rather. In the case of Underground, knockout sessions have a maximum of 3 laps for 4 races. Sprint mode is a variation on the circuit mode where the contestants race in a point-to-point track instead of loop tracks. These races are typically shorter than circuits, with a maximum of 8 kilometers in length. So players are required to be more cautious of any mistakes during racing, such as crashing into barriers or vehicles. Drifting is the most challenging and technical aspect of the game. Drift mode consists of 1 player in a short loop track where the objective is to collect as many points as possible by drifting along the track. The player competes with 3 other contestants who appear to accumulate scores along with the player during the drift session. The player would be required to beat these scores in order to obtain top positions. Bonuses are awarded for players who drift in the outer borders of the track, drift vertically, or perform chain drifting. If the player succeeds in ending a drift without collisions onto the sides of the track, the collected points are added into the score. Otherwise, the collected points are canceled. Drift mode is the only type of racing where time taken to complete the track does not matter, since the players are given the freedom to compete the allocated numbers laps at their own pace. Okay. This may explain the absence of nitrous oxide in this mode, since it serves no apparent purpose in this situation. Let's see. So we have drag racing. Is the second most technical form of race in the game. It involves racing against one of the 3 cars on typically straight tracks and attempting to obtain top positions to win. Players are forced to use manual transmission in this mode. In order to master drag mode, players must employ good timing and reflexes for gear shifting, redlining, overtaking, and the use of nitrous outside boost. Because the players is going to put the engine to its limits, the modes places particular emphasis in monitoring the tachometer and the engine temperature during races, which is enlarged and situated on the leftmost portion of the screen. Steering in the mode is simplified to simply allow for lane changes, while the computer handles the steering along the lanes, and the player focuses more on maintaining an optimum speed for the car. The two conditions will result in players being forfeited during a drag race head on, collisions with an opponent, barriers, traffic cars, or dividers, or blown engines as a result from prolonged redlining and the subsequent overheating of the engine. Jeez. Car customization. In the car customization menu, cars can be altered with performance upgrades and visual upgrades such as paint colors, vinyls, neon custom front and rear bumpers, custom side skirts, spoilers, custom hoods, rather, exhaust tips, roof scoops, custom tires and stickers, and wide body kits. Players have the ability to increase their car's performance by applying performance upgrades to the players' vehicles. The players can upgrade their car's engine, drivetrain, suspension, tires, engine control unit, um, as well as add nitrous oxide turbochargers and reduce the car's weight in the form of weight reduction packages. All right. Vehicles Underground is the first game in the Need for Speed series to offer a Korean-made car, um, Hyundai to Tiburon, as a racing vehicle. Style points. First introducing in Underground was the style points. Style points are rewarded to the player for performing driving stunts and being competitive in race events. Style points can be multiplied by the style modifier, which mean the more tricked out and the design of player's car. The higher player's car get multiplied. Style points are earned by drafting, finishing a section race without colliding. Use a shortcut, perform a perfect launch, or drive close to a traffic vehicle at high speed. Style points can lose if the driver collides with traffic vehicle. Getting style points will unlock vinyls and custom cars, which can only be used in quick race mode. All right, let's go to the reception. Aggregator game rankings on 77.3%, GBA on GC 83.73%, PC 82.29%, PS2 84.29%, Xbox 81.76%. Metacritic 77 out of 100, GPA, GC 83 out of 100, PC 82 out of 100. PS2 85 out of 100, Xbox 83 out of 100. Edge is 7 out of 10 for GC, PC, PS2, and Xbox. EGM 8.67 out of 10 for GC. For PS2, 8.67 out of 10. Yeah. And Xbox with the same number. Eurogamer for PS2, 7 out of 10. Game Informer, GC, 9 out of 10. PS2, 9.5 out of 10. Xbox, 9.25 out of 10. GamePro, 5.5 stars. PS2, 5 stars. Xbox, 5.5 stars. Game Revolution, GC, B. PC, B. PS2, B. Xbox, B. GameSpot, 7.7 out of 10. 7.9 out of 10 for GC. PC, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for PS2. Xbox, B. So GBA, 7.7 out of 10. GC, 7.9 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for PC, 8 out of 10 for PS2, 7.9 out of 10. Xbox. GameSpot, 4 stars. PC, 4 stars. PS2, 5.5 stars. Xbox, 5.5 stars. Game Zone for PC and PS2. Wait, hold on. Yeah, for PC and PS2 is 8.1 out of 10, and PS2 8.5 out of 10. IGN, 7.9 out of 10 for GBA. GC, 4.1 out of 5. OPM, 5.5 stars. OXM, US, Xbox, 8.6 out of 10. PC, 88%. The Village Voice for PS2, 8 out of 10. All right. Yeah, according to the Electronic Arts rather, Need for Speed Underground was a commercial hit with sales above 7 million units worldwide by mid-2004. Underground ultimately sold 15 million copies worldwide. Need for Speed Underground received positive reviews according to review aggregators, game rankings, and Metacritic. Both gave it a score of 84.25% and 85 out of 100 for the PlayStation 2 version, 83.73% and 83 out of 100 for the GameCube version, 82.29% and 82 out of 100 for the PC version, 81.76% and 83 out of 100 for the Xbox version, and 77.33% and 77 out of 100 for the Game Boy Advance version. The only complaints critics had were the repetitive tracks, unbalanced rubber band AI. Especially in the game's easy mode, and the lack of free roam and damage in the game, with the latter only confining to the detachment of license plates from cars during collisions, especially during drag races. In the UK, official UK PlayStation 2 magazine gave the PS2 version a score of 9 out of 10 and made such the illegal nature of the gameplay. They praised the speed, but said that it was at heart just another driving game with added Hollywood sparkle. In Japan, Famitsu gave the GameCube and PS2 versions a score of 2, 8, and 2 9s, bringing it to a score of 34 out of 40. By July 2006, the PlayStation 2 version of Underground has sold 2.6 million copies and earned 115 million in the United States alone. Next Generation ranked it as the 6th highest selling game launched for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, or GameCube between January 2000 and July 2006 in that country. It was the highest selling Need for Speed game released between those dates in the United States. The PlayStation 2 version also received a double platinum sales award from the Entertainment and Leisure Software Publishers Association, indicating sales at least 600,000 copies in the United Kingdom. The editors of Computer Gaming World presented Underground with their 2003 Racing Game of the Year award. They wrote, in quote, "It may not be a conventional racing title like a NASCAR or F1 title, but no other game will make you feel the G's at a return like NSFU does." Need for Speed Underground also won the Electric Playground's 2003 Best Driving Game for PC Award, the 7th Annual Interactive Achievement Awards for Console Racing Game of the Year, and the CESA Game Awards for Global Awards from CESA and Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. All right, let me see. Let me see how much time I have. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a long one, but I want to get to I want to get to. Let me see, man. Okay, whatever game I don't get to, I'll try to review it next time. I would try to review Underground next time and stuff. And I'll review Most Wanted next time because I want to get to Scorpio P's music. So that was your video game chamber segment. Whatever games I don't get to, I will try to actually get to it next time. So basically our last segment of the day is going to be about Scorpio P, and he's part of a music Kool-Aid segment. Now, and for those of you who do not know who Scorpio P is, his real name is Phil Williams. Basically, I'm gonna pull up his handle. I'm gonna pull up his handle real quick. So for those of you who may not know who Phil Williams, aka Scorpio P, is, he's the artistic director for Minefield Theater Group. He's also the sports journalist. He's also the host of a previous show that I was inspired to create, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, which is reaching a 1-year anniversary real soon. And he has recently premiered the Break Room Sports podcast, which, by the way, I actually checked it out though, man. It's pretty decent and it's pretty lit though. Although it is taking a break to actually regroup as far as audio and as far as anything else goes. So and he's also a sports journalist as well. So you guys, I'm gonna go over his music and I'm gonna let you know where you can follow him on Instagram. So just hang in there. So he has singles, Black Dollars, Dreams of Broadway, Unchain You, All Day, and he has an album that I listen to, which is Street Food, and it has tracks like this: One for the Ages, Moonlight Theory, Constellation Blues, Be Alright, Mother's Son, Black Magic, which I actually listened to on Friday of last week. And of course, he has Street Food 2, DOB, the prequel, Standards, Off Night, Moonlight Theory Revisited, Blessing, Rubber Band Man, Lose Control, Issues, Another One for the Ages, Blessing, Alternate Take, and of course, that's about. Let me see what else he has here. Oh yeah, popular songs: Rubber Band Man, Dreams of Broadway, Issues, Off Night, and of course, Ambition. Okay, so let me see. Um, okay, so listen. I'm about to wrap this show up right now, though. Listen, if you like what you heard in today's episode of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, listen, feel free to show some love by making a charitable donation to my Cash App, which is $ G Money Stacks 555. That's $ G Money Stacks 555. That's $ G Money G capital G MONEY capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. I'm sorry for the plane that passes by and stuff, but we're gonna get through this. All right. Listen, you can follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast on Instagram, alongside with my other show, which is the sports show, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. And alongside with my primary current show, which is reaching a 1-year anniversary, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast. And be sure to follow that page. Be sure to follow me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. And also be sure to follow the homie Scorpio P under the username Mr. Phil Williams. And be sure to follow his show, the Break Room Sports Podcast, which is the Break Room Sports Pod on Instagram. All right, you can't miss it. You type in the search the Break Room Sports Pod, and you're gonna see a profile pic of it. So you can't miss it. And for the record, since I listened to Scorpio P's music on Friday while I was on the bus, I gotta say it's pretty good. It's pretty fire. I enjoyed it, and this is actually going to go with a bang. Now this is how fire this shit is, man. And some more. Yeah. And that's how lit the album Street Food and Street Food 2 too. In case you guys didn't listen to his music is on Spotify alongside with Apple Music and along with other streaming music platforms. Of course, Tidal is involved there. There's YouTube Music. And like I said, man, be sure to follow Scorpio P under Mr. Williams and his podcast, the Break Room Sports Podcast, which is the Break Room Sports Pod. And of course, like I said, the cast of the show is actually, taking a hiatus to regroup. And hopefully they'll get the audio thing and everything situated. I'm not sure when they'll be back, but stay tuned because this is a wait and see. Okay? Now we could go to the stream platforms on the go for Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Now, when you go to the Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast page, you're going to see a link that says Linktree /Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. So it's gonna have a list of things of where you can look into listening to the episodes. So we are on Anchor, Audacity, Audible, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Podchaser, Podfriend, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, Player FM. And be sure to go to the link Podchaser and Podfriend to give a 5-star rating and a review. Even though you don't have anything to say on there, you could just give a 5-star rating. We are on Reason FM. We are on Stitcher, Spotify, Tune In. We are on Google Podcasts. And don't forget to listen to Meticulous Vibes podcast episodes on iHeartRadio. And of course, YouTube. All right. And before I go to the YouTube where you have to do the extra stuff, be sure to follow me on 17 Live at G Money Stacks, Queens, New York. That's G Money Stacks, Queens, New York on 17 Live. Be sure to follow that. All right. Now to the YouTube channel. Go grab the subscribe button alongside with the notification bell, enable alerts as a reminder when Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast will go on the air via live stream. Of course, be sure to leave a like, comment on the episodes along with the topics, and also stay tuned for upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Be sure to download your favorite episodes. And plus, share the videos. Also, be sure to leave your thoughts and talks on the opinions on the various topics that's being talked about. If you have any ideas you want me to talk about, of course, you put it in the comment section. All right. Also, make sure you tell a friend to another friend. Be sure to spread the word. And sorry to hear about the cars in the background. That's not me. So also be sure to share the podcast along with all your streaming platforms with your friends. And of course, that's gonna really do it for me. If you have a dream of being a podcaster like myself and you would like to create a podcast like I'm doing right now with 3 podcast shows right now, be sure to not let anybody stop you from achieving your goals and dreams. And podcasting is not about pleasing the people that's listening and viewing this. It's about your thoughts and talks with your opinions and facts of what you think of the topics. You know what I'm saying? And of course, there is no blueprint into being successful. As I said in the previous show, off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, I feel like like I said, I feel like there's no guidebook into being successful. Everybody's success is different. It hits differently. And I will say, and I will use this quote from a t-shirt from the Wheel and Clothing line by my homeboy Chris. On the t-shirt it says success hit differently when no one else believes in you. And what that means is like sometimes it's hard for you to get more support from whether it's your family members, whether it's certain people, you just name it, man. But that doesn't mean give up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the shit you don't want to do. You don't want to fucking give up on yourself, man. And it's about having the confidence, having the strength, and being energized. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, don't worry about everybody else and as far as competition. You just worry about being in your own lane. And the key factor ingredients are ownership, creative control, also express yourself, be real, and never let a hater stop you from what you got to say by speaking your mind on things. All right? Let success speak for itself, because you know what you could do that makes you happy. You don't got to brag about it, but you could eat up the hate by love and success, Homer Simpson style, like this. And please reach out to your loved ones, like your husbands, your wives, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your friends, to see how they're doing on the inside. That person, that those individuals might be fine on the outside, but on the inside, they're probably not, because they might be going through something very traumatic that's very hard to, understand. It may be difficult to relate to everything, because and certain situations where where a person feels like they have to blame themselves for everything that happened, which shouldn't be the case. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to blame yourself for every fucking thing that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that's going to be hard to help a person out. You can help a person out on certain things, but it's kind of hard to actually, you know, do everything. You know what I'm saying? And I only mention that because mental health matters. You know what I'm saying? Um, and a lot of times I do mental health check-ins to see how they're doing on the inside with their week. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's ugly. And I feel like sometimes, like I always try to do, to reach out. And of course, my mental health has been challenging lately. And of course, physically I'm okay. Spiritually, I'm actually trying to hang in there and do my best as a hard worker. And of course, yeah, and I have to basically be the best worker I could be. I may not be a millionaire overnight, but you get what I'm saying. I hope you guys are able to understand. You know what I mean? And there is no good time or time frame to reach out to somebody, because when you reach out to somebody to see how they're doing on the inside, or whatever case scenario may be, it actually gives you, you know, some brownie points, some cool brownie points. You know what I mean? And that's basically my take on this, though, man. So, um, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this show right here. Um, thank you so much. to everybody in the USA, outside the USA, including the 5 boroughs that took the time to listen to Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Of course, there's going to be some more episodes in the future, more review topics of music artists, TV shows, movies, and hopefully I'll be able to do more reviews on the video games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is the first time I actually you know, created a segment for the video gamers out there for in the video gaming community. So I wanted to actually do that because I have some friends that are gamers as well. So listen, man. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me. And I hope I'll be able to you know, create more content for you guys. And of course, I am making a career out of podcasting, okay? As an independent host. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be mainstream or anything like that though, because I don't want to sign away my ownership and my creative control to, corporations or anything like that though, because I don't really care for the fame. I care about authenticity, originality, and of course, being the best unique person that I could be and being able to express myself. So, of course, there's some words that I want you guys to remember about New York, of course. We are hopeful. We have resilience. We have the strength. We have, of course, creativity. And of course, last but not least, unity. And of course, that's it, man. G Money starts clocking out, man. I hope you guys be safe, stay masked up, stay covered up, wear your gloves, wear your hand sanitizers, wash your hands with water. Um, Make sure you have your water alongside with your Gatorade with electrolytes and stuff like that. So you can be hydrated and energized and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's real shit. All right. So peace and one love. And you guys enjoy a good night.